Now in this section we're going to add some environment lighting, and we're going to change the world settings. On the world buttons, which is the little blue globe icon, I'm going to change the horizon color to a very dark gray. I have values of RGB at 0.24 each. And I'm going to add some ambient lighting by changing the ambient color. I'm going to make this a very light blue, so I had the settings at 0.01, 0.02, and 0.04. Now you can see everything has a little bit of a blue tint because we just added ambient lighting by creating a ambient color that's brighter than black. I just enabled mist in the mist panel. I have depth at 90, and that was easy enough to create a fog. Now the mist color is determined by the horizon color. I'm going to delete the basic lights that I had there before. I'm going to create some new ones. I created a point light, and since we have 5 hanging lamps in the scene, we're going to have 5 point lights. Changing the energy to 305. I'm changing color to 1, 0.7, and 0.42. I'm moving it up to about the height of the hanging lamp. As expected, energy at 305 was way too much. 3.5 is what I meant. So I have energy at 3.5 at an orange color and distance 25. I'm duplicating that and moving it to the right. We do not yet have the hanging lamps in the scene, so I'm just putting these lamps where I anticipate those hanging lamps to be. I changed the distance of the lamps to 40 now, so that they illuminate just a little bit further than before. Now with both of the lamps selected, I'm going to duplicate them and move them all the way down to the other end of the environment, where there are going to be 2 more hanging lights. I'm going to duplicate them and move them to the middle, but I'm going to delete one of them, because there is one part of the environment where we won't have a hanging light, and that's the left side right there. So we have 5 lamps in our scene now, all with the same settings. Now I'm changing the distance to 30. 40 seemed to be a little bit too much. Now I'm going back to 40. I duplicated one of the lamps and I'm going to change it to a Hemi. I'm going to change the energy to 0.5. And for the color, I'm going to change it to a blue. I'm going to rotate it from front view so that it's pointing up, and rotate it just a little bit like that in top view. This light's essentially going to act like a little bit of backlighting. I have things way too bright, so I'm pulling the energy down to 0.1. Things are a little bit too blue as well. So I'm going to give it a bit more of a blue-gray value. I'm just looking around the environment, making sure everything's illuminated correctly. Now I'm going to link in the hanging lamps, since I didn't do that before. I'm going to go to the Lights Blend file, select the light group, link it in, and then add it from a group instance. Add it as a group instance. It's a little bit big, so I'm just going to scale down the instance. We're going to place this around the environment right where our lamps are. Because this hanging lamp was hanging from a lower wire, I decided to make the instance a single user, and then edit the mesh so that the wire of the hanging light was a bit shorter, so that it wasn't hanging too low. So now I'm duplicating the instance on the other side, and we're just going to connect it to these wires again. I'm going to do the same thing until all the lamps have a light.